Let me ask you something. Have you ever forgotten where you put your keys or walked into a room and couldn't remember why? Sure, it happens to all of us, but what if it's more than just a senior moment? Today, we're diving into a topic that's critical for everyone to understand: dementia. This isn't just about getting older, it's about recognizing the early warning signs that could change everything. Dementia is progressive, and if left unaddressed, it can rob us or our loved ones of the vibrant life we know. But here's the good news. By spotting the signs early, you can take steps to slow or even reverse its progression. Catching dementia early is absolutely crucial because, in the initial stages, the brain still has enough function to support recovery and maintain motivation. Early detection gives us the chance to take action before the condition worsens. Without intervention, dementia creates a vicious cycle. Brain function declines, leading to a lack of motivation, which reduces brain activity, causing further deterioration. Breaking this cycle early is the key to slowing or even reversing its progression. In this video, I'll share 10 key warning signs that your brain might be crying out for help, and knowing them could make all the difference for your health and quality of life. Number 1, occasional forgetfulness, stage 2, very mild decline. Let's talk about the first warning sign of dementia: occasional forgetfulness. We all forget things from time to time, right? Maybe you can't find your keys, or you blank on someone's name in the middle of a conversation. It happens to the best of us. But when this kind of forgetfulness becomes frequent or starts to disrupt your daily routine, it could be a sign of something more serious. In stage 2, very mild cognitive decline, you might notice you're misplacing everyday items more often, like your glasses or wallet, or struggling to recall familiar words or names. You might chalk it up to being busy, stressed, or just getting older, but frequent occurrences should never be ignored. Here's where the misconception lies: occasional forgetfulness is normal, especially as we age. But when it starts to feel like a pattern, where you're regularly searching for items or drawing blanks during conversations, it might indicate the early stages of dementia. At this stage, your brain still has the capacity to compensate, and with the right steps, you can slow or even reverse the decline. Lifestyle changes like staying mentally and physically active, eating brain-boosting foods, and addressing stress can make a huge difference. So, if you or a loved one notice forgetfulness creeping in more often, don't brush it off. Take action early. It's the first and most important step toward protecting your brain health. Number 2, difficulty with short-term memory, stage 3, early stage dementia. Let's dive into the second warning sign: difficulty with short-term memory, often seen in stage 3 of early stage dementia. This goes beyond occasionally forgetting where you put something or what you were just about to say. It's when you start forgetting recent conversations, events, or information more frequently and noticeably. For example, you might finish a phone call but can't recall what you just talked about, or you watch a movie and can't summarize it minutes later. People experiencing this stage often begin relying heavily on external tools like notes, reminders, or lists to stay on track. While these strategies can help in the short term, they may signal a deeper issue if they're used more frequently than usual or with increasing reliance. This stage is often dismissed as normal aging or being busy, but the key difference is consistency. Forgetting now and then isn't a big deal, but if you're constantly needing reminders for things you just did or learned, it's worth paying attention. At this stage, there's still a lot you can do to manage and potentially slow the progression of dementia. Staying mentally active, getting proper nutrition, and engaging in regular exercise can help support brain health. If you or someone you love is experiencing this kind of memory difficulty, don't ignore it. Early intervention can make a world of difference in maintaining cognitive function and quality of life. Number 3, trouble planning or organizing, stage 3 to 4, early to moderate dementia. Another early warning sign to watch for is trouble planning or organizing, a challenge that often shows up in stage 3 or stage 4 dementia. This is when seemingly simple tasks, like following a recipe or managing monthly bills, start to feel confusing or overwhelming. You might notice yourself skipping steps or having to reread instructions multiple times. Multitasking also becomes more difficult. Planning future events, juggling responsibilities, or even managing a to-do list may feel increasingly challenging. For example, organizing a family dinner might feel daunting, requiring repeated reminders or help from others. These struggles often sneak up and are easy to dismiss as just being stressed or tired. But when this difficulty becomes consistent and disrupts daily life, it could be a sign of early or moderate dementia. This stage reflects subtle cognitive changes where the brain begins to lose its ability to manage multiple steps or complex tasks effectively. The earlier you recognize this sign, the more opportunities you have to make adjustments that support brain health. Strategies like simplifying tasks, focusing on one thing at a time, and using tools like calendars or apps can help compensate. But don't stop there. Brain stimulation through exercise, problem-solving activities, and a nutrient-rich diet can slow cognitive decline. If you or someone you love is struggling with planning or organization, take notice. Early action could make a significant difference in maintaining independence and quality of life. Number 4, forgetting recent events, stage 4, moderate decline. As dementia progresses to stage 4, moderate decline, one of the clearest warning signs is forgetting recent events. This goes beyond minor memory lapses. It's a noticeable pattern that begins to disrupt daily life. For instance, you might complete an errand or activity earlier in the day, but by afternoon, you can't recall doing it. Conversations or appointments might completely slip your mind, leaving you feeling confused or disoriented. This type of forgetfulness often leads to an increased reliance on others for reminders or assistance. Family members or friends may start to notice that you frequently ask the same questions or struggle to recall important details, even if they were discussed just hours earlier. The impact of this stage can be emotionally and practically challenging. It's not just about memory. It can create frustration and a sense of helplessness for both the individual and their loved ones. You might feel less confident managing your routine and more dependent on external cues like written reminders or phone alarms to stay organized. While this stage signals more pronounced cognitive decline, there are still ways to slow the progression. Maintaining a consistent daily routine, engaging in physical activity, eating brain-healthy foods, and staying socially active can all help preserve brain function. If forgetting recent events becomes a pattern, it's time to consult a healthcare professional. Early awareness and intervention can significantly impact the journey ahead. Number 5, impaired calculation skills, stage 4, moderate decline. As dementia progresses in stage 4, moderate decline, another warning sign is impaired calculation skills. This means tasks that involve basic math, like subtracting sevens from 100 or quickly adding up grocery totals, suddenly feel confusing or even impossible. What once seemed effortless now requires extra effort or may not happen at all. One common real-life example is struggling to balance a checkbook or manage a budget. You might have difficulty understanding a bank statement, keeping track of bills, or calculating expenses. This can lead to unpaid bills, overdrafts, or financial mistakes that weren't an issue before. At this stage, managing finances often becomes so challenging that you may need assistance from a family member or trusted advisor. This is a major red flag because it reflects a deeper decline in problem-solving and reasoning skills. For caregivers and loved ones, this stage often brings new challenges as financial management tasks are handed off to someone else. But the good news is that early recognition of these struggles provides an opportunity to implement strategies and supports. You can adapt by using automatic bill payments, simplifying financial responsibilities, and keeping a close eye on changes in cognitive function. Pair these steps with brain-boosting habits like regular exercise, proper nutrition, and mental stimulation to support overall brain health. If performing simple math starts becoming difficult, it's worth exploring further. This sign is an important indicator that the brain may be struggling. Number 6. Poor judgment and decision-making, Stage 5, mid-stage dementia. As dementia progresses to Stage 5, mid-stage dementia, one of the clearest signs is poor judgment and decision-making. This goes beyond the occasional bad choice or harmless mistake we all make from time to time. It's about consistently making risky or inappropriate decisions that could have serious consequences. For example, someone might give away large sums of money to strangers or scams, thinking it's a good idea. Another example could be dressing inappropriately for the weather, like wearing a t-shirt and shorts during a snowstorm, or failing to recognize the need for protective clothing. These patterns reflect a breakdown in reasoning and the ability to assess situations logically. It's important to distinguish this from normal aging. While it's normal to occasionally make a poor choice, people with mid-stage dementia often show a persistent inability to weigh the consequences of their actions or adjust their behavior when faced with new information. This stage can be especially concerning for caregivers, as it often requires increased supervision to ensure safety and prevent harm. Recognizing this symptom early on allows for timely interventions, like setting boundaries, safeguarding finances, and creating a structured environment to minimize risks. Although poor judgment is a hallmark of mid-stage dementia, steps like maintaining a healthy lifestyle, staying engaged in stimulating activities, and seeking professional guidance can help slow its progression and support better quality of life. If decision-making becomes consistently risky, it's time to take action. Number 7. Disorientation and getting lost, Stage 5, mid-stage dementia. In Stage 5, mid-stage dementia, another prominent warning sign is disorientation and getting lost, which can deeply affect a person's daily life. This isn't just about forgetting whether it's Wednesday or Thursday, it's about completely losing track of time, day, or even the season. For instance, someone might step outside on a hot summer day and wonder if it's going to snow, unable to connect their surroundings with reality. Another common symptom is becoming disoriented in familiar places. Imagine taking a walk in your own neighborhood or driving a route you've traveled for years, only to find yourself lost, unsure of where you are or how to get back home. This is particularly alarming because it signals a deeper decline in spatial awareness and memory. Disorientation can lead to significant safety concerns, especially for individuals who wander and struggle to find their way back. For caregivers, this stage often marks the need for additional precautions, such as GPS trackers, structured routines, and increased supervision to prevent accidents or wandering. While this symptom can feel overwhelming, early recognition is key to managing it effectively. Encouraging brain-stimulating activities, providing a calm and predictable environment, and focusing on physical health can help slow the progression. If you or a loved one starts experiencing disorientation or getting lost in familiar surroundings, don't dismiss it as a simple memory lapse. This is a critical sign to address promptly. Number 8. Trouble recognizing loved ones, Stage 6, late-stage dementia. As dementia progresses into Stage 6, late-stage dementia, one of the most heartbreaking signs is trouble recognizing loved ones. This means a person may struggle to remember the names or even faces of their closest family members, such as a spouse, children, or lifelong friends. Imagine the pain of sitting with someone who once knew you so intimately but now looks at you with confusion or unfamiliarity. This loss of recognition can be devastating, not only for the individual experiencing dementia but also for their caregivers and loved ones, who often feel an emotional void where meaningful connections once thrived. This symptom reflects a deeper cognitive decline, as the brain can no longer retrieve or associate memories tied to relationships and emotional bonds. For caregivers, this stage often brings new challenges in communication and caregiving, requiring patience, empathy, and adaptability to connect in ways that feel familiar and comforting. While this stage of dementia is incredibly difficult, it's still possible to create moments of connection. Using visual cues like old photos, sharing favorite music, or focusing on simple, familiar activities can spark a sense of recognition and comfort, even if it's fleeting. Recognizing loved ones is such a fundamental part of who we are, and losing this ability underscores the severity of late-stage dementia. If this sign emerges, it's important to seek professional guidance for both emotional support and effective caregiving strategies. Number 9. Loss of independence in daily activities, Stage 6 to 7, late-stage dementia. In stages 6 to 7, late-stage dementia, a significant warning sign is the loss of independence in daily activities. At this stage, tasks that were once routine, like dressing, eating, and basic hygiene, become increasingly difficult or even impossible without help. For example, someone might struggle to dress appropriately for the weather, wearing summer clothes on a freezing winter day, or forgetting to button their shirt or zip up a jacket. Eating may require assistance, from cutting food to reminding them how to use utensils, while personal hygiene tasks, such as brushing teeth or taking a bath, are often neglected entirely unless a caregiver intervenes. This increasing dependency reflects severe cognitive and physical decline. It can be emotionally and practically challenging for both the individual and their caregivers, as the need for constant supervision and support grows. For caregivers, it's essential to approach this stage with patience and understanding. Creating a structured environment, maintaining a predictable routine, and breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps can help make daily life more comfortable for everyone involved. While the loss of independence is one of the most difficult aspects of late-stage dementia, there are ways to support dignity and comfort. Using adaptive tools, encouraging small successes in daily tasks, and focusing on quality time can help preserve a sense of connection and self-worth. Recognizing this sign is crucial for planning the next steps in caregiving and ensuring the individual's safety and well-being. Number 10. Complete detachment, Stage 7, end-stage dementia. The final and most severe warning sign of dementia appears in Stage 7, end-stage dementia, characterized by complete detachment from people, surroundings, and even oneself. At this stage, the individual becomes almost entirely non-responsive. They may no longer recognize loved ones, react to familiar voices, or engage with their environment in any meaningful way. Communication becomes nearly impossible. If they do speak, their words are often random, incoherent, and without context. There's a profound loss of awareness, not just of their surroundings but of their own identity, as the brain's capacity for processing and interaction diminishes almost entirely. This stage also involves severe physical decline. Simple actions, like swallowing food, often become impossible, increasing the risk of choking or malnutrition. Basic movements may cease altogether, and the individual requires around-the-clock care to manage even the most fundamental needs, such as feeding, hygiene, and positioning. For caregivers, this stage is emotionally devastating, as it feels like the person they knew is no longer present. While the individual may not respond outwardly, gentle touch, soothing music, or calm voices can sometimes provide comfort. Complete detachment underscores the gravity of dementia's progression, but it also highlights the importance of early detection and intervention. By acting on earlier signs, it's possible to delay or even prevent reaching this advanced stage. Recognizing and preparing for this stage ensures the individual's dignity, comfort, and care are prioritized in their final phase of life. Underlying causes of dementia. Dementia is rooted in a complex interplay of factors that contribute to brain degeneration. One key cause is the gradual decline in brain cells' ability to produce energy and send signals effectively. This physical degeneration often begins years before noticeable cognitive symptoms appear. Metabolic factors play a major role as well. Dementia is sometimes referred to as type 3 diabetes due to its strong link with insulin resistance and neuroinflammation. Poor dietary habits, lack of physical activity, and metabolic disorders can accelerate brain decline. Environmental toxins further compound the issue. Exposure to harmful substances from food, pollutants, or poor gut health can inflame the body and damage neural connections. Understanding and addressing these causes early can slow or even prevent dementia's progression. Prevention and intervention strategies. Preventing dementia or slowing its progression starts with proactive lifestyle changes. Incorporate anti-inflammatory and brain-boosting foods like leafy greens, berries, nuts, and healthy fats to nourish the brain. Managing insulin resistance through a balanced diet and reducing neuroinflammation are critical steps to protect cognitive function. Physical activity is essential for brain health, as it stimulates the brain and improves blood flow. Activities like walking, yoga, or strength training not only keep your body fit, but also enhance neural connections. Opt for exercises that engage both the mind and body, such as dancing or playing sports. Additionally, mental stimulation plays a key role. Challenge your brain with puzzles, reading, learning new skills, or hobbies that require focus and problem-solving to keep your mind sharp. If you've noticed any of these warning signs in yourself or a loved one, don't ignore them. Early action can make a world of difference. Pay attention to changes in memory, behavior, or daily functioning, and consult a healthcare professional if needed. Small lifestyle adjustments, like eating brain-boosting foods, staying active, and engaging in mentally stimulating activities, can go a long way in protecting brain health and slowing cognitive decline. For more tips on maintaining a healthy brain and understanding early signs of dementia, check out our related videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and turn on all alerts so you never miss valuable insights that could help you or your loved ones live healthier, fuller lives.